Hello, welcome to our presentation. Our team is Due Nimbus, myself Tahlin, Rida Mohammad Nafis Fuad, Mohammad Atikur Rahman and Mohammad Shorawardi. Our solution is titled Blockchain-based Microcredit Solution for the Microfinance Institutions using traceable coins for locality-based efficient impact management and increasing systematic efficiency to reduce interest burden on the marginal borrowers. Even with the improvement of our country's financial situation, the living standards of the poor and the middle class are not improving, and many are often exploited. If MFIs cannot ensure proper usage of funds, as they cannot track the transaction of these poverty-stricken borrowers, and they also lack proper banking. As the bank cannot provide financial services to the poor, the MFIs came up with such service in small amounts but at a high rate of interest. The higher rate of interest is due to operational cost involved in the process. Our solution is of twofold. The first module deals with the core microfinance service utilizing on-chain data and logic. The second, the identity module, handled with a combination of on-chain and off-chain data. The diagram will show the overview of the workflow of the microfinance module. The flow of cash, coins and goods between stakeholders will be expressed for a particular project. Here, the initial cash comes from the free-floating funds deposited by the micro-investors. Funds are allocated to MFIs to be used in their projects. The cash is distributed to vendors from each locality. The MFIs disburse digital tokens to its borrowers to buy products from selected vendors. The borrower repays the vendor in cash in installments. The cash is finally received by the investor along with the profit in a similar manner in which the cash flow occurred previously. The core difference between using a blockchain-based approach and current approaches is shown in this section. Most of the current process in which MFI operates is manual or managed in a centralized system. Thus, a blockchain-driven decentralized system can bring major changes. Our blockchain-driven approach uses fully open-source technologies that has fast scoring mechanism utilizing graph protocol, offers scalability even if millions of clients participating utilizing Celo's ultralight client. The microcredit sector in Bangladesh is a 17 billion USD market, which would grow to a nearly 60 billion US dollar market by 2026. The total number of MFIs are nearly 800 that are operating across Bangladesh. The average MFI borrower loan size increased from 280 USD to 610 USD over 2014 to 2019. So let's look at the market. The MFIs will be the main customer using the free-floating funds deposited by micro or institutional investors. So the other customer segments are investors who are interested in investing at a higher rate of bank deposits. Their funds would be placed in a floating fund and made available to microfinance institutions on a case-to-case basis. It also includes vendor financed by MFIs and ultimate microcredit borrowers who receive purchase power from MFIs using blockchain-based coins that can be used with specific vendors. Although it might seem like crowdfunding platforms are our competition at the general investor level, Nimbus only serves the marginal borrowers through the MFIs in development projects, making the beneficiaries and customers different. Moreover, Nimbus's core business is to provide secure and efficient microcredit solution with traceable transaction by using the vendors. So there will be no direct competition. If the digital interface of Nimbus becomes too difficult for the users, there might be intermediaries who would make Nimbus costly for the users. So we suggest a contingency plan of proper awareness and training programs. And also Nimbus or MFI will manage digital centers in the rural area to make it available for the users. So here are some technical challenges. Celo's IBFT-based blockchain ensures scalability with serving millions of transactions without light client hosting the full node. Celo's novel identity solution allows to map mobile phone number to on-chain hexadecimal address in a decentralized way using IdenTrust algorithm. Light clients can send transaction requests and retrieve on-chain data from blockchain even among slow internet. Since the private network is established throughout the country and multiple instances of specific MFI blockchain is present, so even if one area is out of electricity, then would still be able to connect to the blockchain network. And finally, we assume minimal technical knowledge from the borrower's perspective. They can interact with the blockchain system with feature phone for other end user, UI and UX of the web portal and smartphone app designed in such a way that hide away the technical complexity. The underlying hardware platform for hosting, we use the Intel's Clear Linux OS, which is more performant than other Linux distro. We use fully open source OpenStack platform for private cloud implementation. This ensures faster deployment with cheaper cost and avoid vendor lock-in. The main blockchain platform used here is Celo, which is a high-performance mobile-first blockchain platform. MyCelo tool is used to run a private instance of Celo. Celo's novel identity solution paves the way to map phone number to on-chain address. Celo's IBFT-based consensus ensures the network will be reliable even if the 1/3 of the nodes go down or compromised. For faster retrieval of data, the Graph protocol is used, which has Celo's native support. For storing off-chain data, we use the AvoinDB, which is a wrapper for IPFS-based distributed DB called OrionDB. For backend development, to interact with on-chain and off-chain data, the highly scalable Node.js library is used, specifically the unopinionated Node.js framework Express.js. For the smart contract logic, Solidity is used since Celo is a Ethereum clone which natively supports bytecode from compiled Solidity. For faster development and ensure security-based practices, we use tools such as Hardhat, Remix, and library like OpenZeppelin. The decrypted individual identity storage format will be compliant with the W3C DID mechanism to future-proof identity storage system in the web. For front-end stack, we mainly use web technologies with intensive use of JSStack. Our preferred JS framework is Vue.js-based Quasar.js, which can be used to develop progressive web app, desktop, and mobile app with the same code base. The nature of the solution, most of the members who are service providers like the Nimbus team, MFIs, and the regulators joining the blockchain network will be the founding members. The member onboarding and offboarding responsibility is vested upon Nimbus screening team, MFI, and regulator. For data ownership structure, all the user's identity info is encrypted in off-chain DB. Loan issue right access is established with the identity verification of the vendor and MFI, and the issuance of tokens, loans of product, and repayment of loans right access is given to Nimbus system upon verification using OTP and banking API. Like the standard Celo ecosystem, there are 5 kinds of nodes: full nodes, validators, validator proxy, attestation nodes, and light clients. Validator nodes accumulates protocol messages from light clients and off-chain servers. They are responsible for validating transactions. Basically, they are the only nodes participating in the BFT-based consensus mechanism by BFT. At the same time, they also host the full blockchain. The full nodes are the nodes that have the entire blockchain but don't participate in the consensus. Each MFIs and Nimbus hosts the validator and full nodes. The nodes not holding the entire blockchain are for the end users depending on the capacity of the machine. It's 700,000 lighter than a full node. The main responsibility of a light client is to send transaction requests. In our system, the transaction would come from investor, vendor, MFI light clients, and Nimbus off-chain server. To increase the validator node reliability, there are proxy validator nodes. The attestation node is responsible as a part of Celo's novel identity protocol. Each MFI and Nimbus would host at least one attestation node and validator proxy node. MFI store all the cash flow data but only access the data that is associated on their own business. They also only store the data of their associated vendor and borrower data off-chain in distributed DB. Microinvestor data is initially stored in Nimbus off-chain DB but later shared by MFI once microinvestor invests in the specific MFI project. Identity collection, holding, and maintenance process is general data protection regulation compliant. The MFI deals with their own vendor and borrower, and Nimbus facilitated the investment opportunity for general public and managing microfinance process in a digital and secure way using blockchain. Ensuring system availability, security, and quality testing and technical maintenance is responsibility of Nimbus technical team. Nimbus has significant social and economic value. First of all, it will reduce time and hassle for the user, including MFIs. Our system ensures traceability of all transactions. Nimbus also eliminates fraud people. According to Bangladesh Bank, percentage of defaulted loan is around 8.61%, around 1 trillion taka in terms of amount. Nimbus identity management eradicates this type of problem. Another report shows that only 25% of total population have banking access. Here, we can provide them a sustainable solution. All these advances as to attain sustainable development goal number 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Nimbus also generates high economic value as it has a sustainable business model, identifiable market segment, and growth potential. Here are the steps needed to be taken to distribute the Nimbus platform. First, in the testing phase, the prototype need to be tested and evaluated first in testing environment and then on small-scale real-world environment. Then for full deployment preparation to estimate the needed resource, budget and timeline. Thank you.